Jasmine Crocket is part of that programming. Okay, and her job is to make sure that a rift maintains between Republicans and black voters. Okay, Republicans have long forgotten who they are, and Jasmine Crocket is there to make sure they do not remember who they are in their association, their relationship with black folks. And she's there to make sure that black folks don't recall that either. She is there to make sure that rift stays between them and grows even wider. Okay, that's what it's all about. Remember, y'all, the Democrats are the national Manson family. They want a race rift. They want a race war. Okay, so Jasmine Crocket is very irritating. What's more irritating than Jasmine Crocket is people like Byron Donalds. All right, I want to like the guy. I really do. But he's a naive sellout. Okay, he is at this point the superlative of the token Negro in the Republican Party. Okay, why do I say this? Any fool that would go out there and say black folks fared better under Jim Crow do bite me. All right. And what's even worse than that, y'all, what's worse than that are the so-called conservative white folks who applaud this crap. This is why people think the party's a switch side, geniuses. This is why we have such a hard time. This is why the Republican Party is such an abysmal failure in the culture and are dependent on Democrats screwing things up so bad that Republicans may seem to be worth considering. And it's not even conservatism that the people are buying into. They're falling into the Trump cult of personality is what they've gone for. You haven't sold conservatism. You sold a figurehead. You sold a cult of personality because you sure as hell can't sell conservatism worth a damn. You can't sell the Republican vote worth a damn. You have to be dependent on Democrats making things so abysmally bad for people to consider something else. So they may have a chance to get the economy back on track so they can afford to be freaking perverts again. That's what you've done. Byron Donalds helps with this. Byron, you're going to say that things were better under Jim Crow? This is all you're saying, Byron. Let me help you out. This is all you're saying. You're saying that black folks can't do anything right unless white supremacists impose apartheid policies on us to keep us in line. That is all you're saying, dude. That's how we do better. You're of the same sentiment of John Wilkes Booth in his manifesto. This is the party of the white man. The Republicans are out to destroy them. The black man can't do it because we know what's best for them. We know what's best for black folks. That's where you're at, Byron. That's you. And the Republicans eat this stuff up. See, they kick people like me to the curb. See, at the time, y'all, when I stepped onto the scene back in 2007, see, the Republicans, they liked me because they thought they found them a black person to be able to say, to give them credibility. They're like, oh, see, we're not racist. We like what he has to say. But see, after a few years, they were like, well, he's really not the token that we need him to be. He doesn't make apologies for us. And you know, there was a time when Democrats were decent people, and they were saying, I'm like, no, they weren't. And then after Obama's presidency was done, it's like, okay, well, Zo, we don't really need you anymore. There's a ton of token Negroes for us to choose from now. And they've actually found them some genuine token Negroes. I don't fit that model, so they don't need me. All right, but they've got people like Byron and they got a whole bunch of other black so-called right-wing influencers. They got a whole bunch of those. I'm not welcome at the table anymore. All right, because I don't say stupid stuff like this. That black folks did better. So Byron, here's a bit of advice for you, dude. You know what you should do? You should get the hell out of the Democrats' way. That's what you should do, man. That's what you should do. Because if Jim Crow was such a good thing for black folks, well, then you should just let Democrats do it because they're the ones who authored Jim Crow. I'm pretty sure you're aware of that. But see, the thing is, a lot of Republicans are aware of this sort of things, but they don't know what the crap to do with it. They don't know. They don't know what the hell to do with this sort of stuff. They don't know what to do with this history. They don't know what to do with this information, except for give Democrats everything they need to promote their damage in the culture. So you have, and how long have I been saying it, y'all? How long have I been saying it? That the Democrats, they accuse Republicans, of hating black folks and not wanting to have anything to do with black folks and all that sort of stuff. And the second they see black folks with Republicans, the ones who make the biggest hissy fit about it are Democrats. It's like, well, wait a minute. Y'all complain about these supposed racist policies of the Republican Party, but when you see that, that doesn't exist, then you're mad. You see Byron Reynolds, who has a white wife, and Jasmine Crocket has a problem with this. Now, I don't know of any Republicans that have any problem with this. That's one of the good things I can say about, Republicans, at least, is like they don't really express problems about this sort of stuff because they were the party that fought against the Democrats who made it policy where people couldn't interracially marry. Internationally, I should say. Okay, I don't use the term race. All right, that's another misnomer that keeps us divided from each other.
Less Than 3 Entertainment and Bruce are saying that, what's his face, Officer Tatum is one of those sellouts. That's
right. Oh man, we can make a list, y'all. I try not to, but these people, well, unfortunately, I don't know if they know who they are. They don't know. I don't know if their audience really even knows who they are. But thank you guys. Yeah, that's true. He's another one. All right, but Jasmine Crocket, in her hypocrisy, doesn't understand that while you're going after Byron Reynolds for being married to a white woman, the one who's expressing problem with that is you. It's not an issue in terms of Republican sentiments. That's an issue with you. And not only that, Jasmine Crocket, the reason why blacks and whites couldn't be married when it was illegal, it was flat out illegal, well, that was your party that made it illegal. Okay, the Democrats are the ones who imposed the anti-miscegenation laws. They did that. Oh, and Byron, was that a better thing for us? Was that better with those kind of Jim Crow apartheid policies? Was that better? Was that better for us? Both of y'all are quite irritating. All right. But yeah, Jasmine, that's your party that did that. So, I mean, while Jasmine Crocket wants to go off on like she's some sort of champion of racism, I mean, I know that she would hate mine and my wife's marriage. She would hate us. Mm-hmm. She'd hate us. But but at the same time, you shouldn't have a problem with our marriage. And by the way, Byron, mine and my wife's marriage, we didn't need the assistance of Jim Crow to keep us together. Jim Crow didn't keep us together. All right. So I don't know where you. So why the crap would you lean on something like that, dude? Of all the analogies that you could make or statistics that you could borrow from, that's where you went. You went to that. You couldn't even use maybe the time. It's like, back in the earlier 19th century, blacks, and you couldn't use a decade or something like that to refer to. Instead, you're gonna go right to apartheid policies that was the center point that black folks were able to stay together on and do better. Wow, man. This is why the Republican Party is such a failure, because like I said, the mainstream Republicans applaud stuff like this. Oh, yeah, that's right. There was Jim Crow laws and there was a father in the home and they stayed married. I was like, wow, that's what it took for us, huh? Well, then why don't we just get out of the Democrats' way and just let them go full on racist like they've always been? You notice how Democrats are obsessed with race today, right? Yes. But see, Republicans think that this is some new Democrat Party. This is something new. No, it isn't. But they're not going to listen to me. I don't have, it's like I guess I do this out of a labor of love or something like that. You know,
Yes,
and
you do.
I mean, this is just me doing my due diligence. I know it doesn't mean a damn thing to the mainstream Republican Party. They are not going to listen to me. They're not. All I can say is, look, man, if I have the blessings to be able to stand before the Lord, I can say, Lord, you know I tried. You know I tried. And the Lord's like, man, they didn't listen to me either, because it's, you know, I understand. You know, a few people listened to me. Most of them didn't. The gate is narrow, brother. The road is narrow. Don't lose heart. Don't feel bad. All right? Most of them ain't gonna listen to you. All right? And as far as the Republican Party goes, they're gonna accuse you of being a heretic. You're the problem. All right? You're the problem. They don't want to have anything to do. It's like the Lord's like, man, the Lord knows. I get it, man. I get it. I can promise you I get it. It's written in blood that I got it. All right, so if anybody sympathizes with me, it's the Lord. So I know these people ain't going to listen to me.